What is going on, everybody? The Area Lord is back. And I am here for another Walking Dead vlog for Fear the Walking Dead. I tricked you. Fear the Walking Dead. We are not doing The Walking Dead for a few months, but Fear the Walking Dead is still just getting started with Season 5, Episode 2, entitled The Hurt That Will Help. I meant to upload this vlog yesterday, but I got distracted and needed to delay it a day. Just some stuff came up, but I'm able to do it now and give you some of my thoughts on what this episode had in store for us, because it previewed the scientist in the radiation gear, and I thought that this woman was connected to the group that took Rick, the group that took Althea, the black suited individuals, the helicopter group, the people that I did an entire vlog on. If you missed that, go check out my last vlog where I talked about the helicopter group and all sorts of crazy theories. I thought that was what this preview was going to be, but in actuality, this woman was just from a nuclear plant that melted down because there are no humans to maintain it, and she's trying to take out the infected walkers that have this radiation spores on them. And Morgan and Alicia end up coming across a roadblock. There's like two different types of roadblocks, I guess. And the character, the new character, whose name eludes me right now, the new character whose name's eludes me at the moment, she is just trying to take out the walkers, and she has these little crow traps where she captures the crows, and then the walkers walk underneath, and then she can take them out. So Morgan comes across one of these things, and he's about to kill it, but then he gets lassoed at the feet and held up at gunpoint until Alicia turned the tides. And then apparently they had this radiation subplot. I guess it seemed like it was just contained to an episode, because then there was the real fear of going back to the crash site and which of those walkers would be infected, because this now actually gave the group a new meaning and purpose, because obviously Morgan's whole new philosophy is that he wants to help people. So once this woman revealed that she was trying to take out her old comrades who had gone infected and had this radiation spores, because ultimately not only was she trying to take out her own people who she wanted to put down, but then there was also other areas that could be infected with radiation because of these all it takes is a group of stupid walkers to just wander around Texas, and then they're loose and they're spreading all of this infected radiation everywhere. And then that becomes a huge problem. So I did see, yes, the woman's name is Grace, who ends up kind of becoming on our hero's side, but by the end of the episode, she says that she's basically been exposed to so much radiation that she's not going to last long anyway. Even though she kind of forms a bond with our characters, there's really no saving her. She's basically long gone, and with the life that she has left, she's trying to do some good, which I can respect that, of course. It's probably very admirable coming from Morgan hearing that, especially with the philosophy he's just been trying to wrestle with. He's also trying to reel in Alicia, who's getting off the leash a bit in terms of, I know Alicia rhyming there, but she's been all the things that happened to her last season, losing her mom and brother. There are moments where she drifts apart, and Morgan tries to bring her back because he explained that he's gone through some of the things that she went through. So he's trying to keep her keep her level-headed throughout this whole thing and focused on the mission and what they have to do to help people in the surrounding area. So, we have that plot line. Luciana is healing from her injuries, and she's at the truck stop in radio contact with Strand. Strand does meet Salazar, which is kind of underwhelming for someone who didn't really follow the earlier parts when Salazar, was involved with the dam explosion and all of the stuff that happened there. Apparently this was a really disappointing kind of reveal because he basically just waves his gun in Strand's face, kind of mocks Strand, says that he has a plane, and then he just doesn't let Strand use it because he thinks Strand is going to make a stupid decision or a selfish decision just to save himself and not help the group that he's in. And there was a moment where Strand kind of didn't, fight that line of thinking where, oh, if you give me this plane, I'm just going to use it to save myself. There was a moment where he kind of, locked up and, didn't refute that, which I thought was a little strange. I was like, oh, I thought that he was doing this for the greater good of his group. Could there be some ulterior motive that we don't know about where he's still kind of just all about himself and survival? I don't know if that is 100% true, but Salazar does make a good point, and it seems like his character was a one-episode thing. For all that build-up and everyone anticipating him coming back, he seems to be one of the more iconic characters of Fear the Walking Dead, and he kind of got caught up to speed on who was alive and who was dead. You see, he had this little fortress that he was surviving in, and that was about it. It's him and this freaking cat. And he tells Strand to get lost. He's not giving him the plane. He thinks that he's still too reckless, and he says he'll shoot him if he sees him again. So I don't know if Salazar is going to come into play in some other form. Maybe the helicopter group finds his little base of operations and tries to capture him. I don't know if he's really going to be utilized because the one scene in the trailer that we saw him, that was the scene that was in this episode. So hypothetically, he might not even be in the rest of the season. So we'll have to see if that's true. And then Luciana, recovering from her injuries, at the end of the episode, she, for some reason, goes outside and she's trying to kill walkers, but she's delirious because of the side effects of her injury kind of stacking up. So she wanders back to the truck stop, passes out, and then the walkers that were outside banging on the door, they were captured and decapitated, and their heads were strung up on trees. So is this the helicopter group? Again, we don't know if these people are watching them. Maybe Althea was interrogated and said where her people were. We didn't see them physically in this episode, but it was very strange for the walkers to be there, and then they were just, all of a sudden on trees and decapitated, and then the episode kind of ended on a very eerie note. Yeah, somebody's watching us. So, besides that, we not too much. We didn't see the kids, the new group of kids that got introduced last episode. They didn't make an appearance. They ran off. The thing is, there's nothing really holding all these different groups together, and so there's got to be some plot point that is going to draw them back together. And then we have Dwight at some point coming into the fray of things. I don't know what he's going to add. I'm just interested to hear if he found Sherry or not, because that connects to the original Walking Dead, obviously, as we know. So there's still more plot things. They're very slowly leading us on with this. The leash. I thought that the hazmat suit thing was going to be part of the helicopter group, but it ended up just being part of this reactor that melted down, and this woman was trying to kill the people that were infected by it. And so it's strange because I'm still trying to follow where this story is going, and you have all these loose plot threads. And I said this in the last episode where you had the dam, you have Dwight, you have the group of kids, you have Alicia and Morgan, and then you have June, and you have just all these little factions within the group. And it's the typical Walking Dead where they pad the episode by having a little conversation between the group, and they slowly let out the leash of the plot. I just hope that season 5 is fulfilling by the end. I'll keep pace with it. I'll keep doing the reviews, but I just hope that season 5 is rewarding. That when I look back at it, I can say that it it was a good season, and that introducing the helicopter group and some of those things that I was excited for the Rick Grimes movie. I hope we get a proper introduction and teaser to that, and it's not just some half-assed like cliffhanger where we got to wait for the Rick Grimes movies. So hopefully Fear can come in handy. I mean, the identity of the show has changed so much. It went from being before the apocalypse, showing how society broke down, to then being The Walking Dead 2.0, following Travis's group, and then Travis died, and then it was Madison, and then Madison died, and then Nick died, and then Morgan crossed over to the show, and then pretty soon Morgan was kind of the lead of this show, along with Alicia in a way, and then the Fear the Walking Dead kind of had a very strange identity in the second half of Season 4, and then in Season 5, they started crossing over plot points that would be important to the Walking Dead universe as a whole. So now it has a whole different... It's gone through like 3 different identity changes, which is kind of crazy. Like, the original Walking Dead was always Rick Grimes and following the comic book storyline, and it changed a little bit when Rick left the show, but they're still following the Whisperers, Alpha, Beta, that whole storyline. Like, they're still following the beats of the comic with different characters, which is always what they did. But Rick is just off on a different adventure that's unique to the TV movie universe. So, again, I like what they're doing, but I don't know how long they're going to drag it out. I don't like the dragging out. Those were the things that turned people off in Season 7 and 8 when the Savior storyline was going on for a very, very, very long time. And so, yeah, I mean, I'll give this episode a solid 8. I mean, Radiation, it's a new plot point we haven't seen addressed in the original show or Fear, so, I give it points for bringing in an interesting, you have to be careful. You don't want to kill zombies that have radiation because, I mean, think about that, man. Imagine if someone had radiation zombies at their disposal. I mean, you send one of those things into a freaking camp, and it's just like a virus. It's a walking time bomb. You might as well just nuke the freaking camp. I mean, that's some messed up warfare, but I mean, I don't know how many people have access to run down nuclear plants. Also, even coming in contact with those things really, unless you have a hazmat suit, it really, it's dangerous. As Grace says many times. So, yeah, that's about it for the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Sorry about the lateness of it, but I'll try to do some other vlog topic this week, and let me know if you enjoy these vlogs. I mean, I was looking for some comments on the last vlog, especially talking about Rick and the helicopter group. I don't know if people are just maybe tired of Fear the Walking Dead. Maybe they're waiting for the Walking Dead Season 10 trailer. Maybe they're looking for some reactions from me, and since I'm just doing the reviews, people are kind of waiting for my reactions. I'm not sure. I mean, let me know what you guys are looking for in my content right now as I cover the Walking Dead universe, and because doing Fear was a way of branching out, and so I want to make sure I'm still kind of keeping up with what you guys are looking for from the channel. So, alright, anyway, thank you very much for watching, appreciate it, and I'll see you later for more content. Peace out.